Welcome to SailAway Reviews.
Good morning here for us. I don't know about you. It could be any time of day. It could be 3 in the morning, and this is how you put yourself to sleep at night. Or what you do when you just stay up. Anyway, welcome back to SailAway Reviews.
We've got another exciting review of a scooter. This one is the... maybe you should have done it because I can't say the word.
I'm going to go with iEnyrid M4PRO S Plus. So here's the basics on it. It's 800 watts, and it's IP54 waterproof, which is good for being able to go pretty much any weather you want to without submersing it. It's got a decent range, 18.6 miles, which isn't the highest, but that's because it goes 28 miles per hour.
Yeah, we definitely ran it out.
That was us. That was all of us. Yeah. We discovered that its range improves greatly when you charge it.
Yeah. It doesn't just go indefinitely.
No.
It's got 10-inch air-filled tires, 330-pound weight load.
It's a lot. Dual mechanical disc brakes, which I'll talk about that in a minute. They're awesome. Dual shock absorbers. The front is spring-loaded shock absorbers.
It has headlights and other lights, which are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It has a thumb throttle, and it folds.
Yeah, all the basics.
Yeah.
But let's go through some of that. Again, the 800 watts is a big deal. This scooter is a lot more powerful than the other scooter that we have reviewed, which was surprising because it is in kind of a lower price point. But it'll flat out get it. And we've tested it quite a bit here in some pretty serious hills, which were tough to get on camera because I was literally going for groceries on one side of the island where really serious inclines to get to the little grocery where we were, buying our stuff. And it does a surprisingly good job. I'm about 180 pounds, and then coming back with groceries, I'm probably 200, so...
Probably more than that.
Well, that was a small trip.
130.
Yeah. We do some major grocery loading on these scooters. That one was a smaller one. But very impressed with its hill climbing ability and its speed. Now, it's also a rougher ride. Noticeably rougher ride. To the point where when I was first riding it, I kind of thought it was solid tires. Until we got to looking into the specs and looking at it. And they're air-filled. I think this one is it's set up more for like an off-road type feel and situation, because it's definitely a stiffer ride, a little bouncier. To me, handling wise, it's not the longest footbed, so it doesn't have sort of the smooth, refined kind of ride, but it'll flat out go anywhere, and it's really, really powerful. That's the thing that stood out the most to me.
We didn't talk about how when we first got it, it had a seat attached to it, so it was more like
we didn't list that. Yeah.
I don't know, a scooter, I guess. Well, I mean, it is a scooter, but it's a sit-down scooter.
Yeah, there's quite a few scooters, I think, that do the seat add-on. I don't know how much we can add about the seat, because for us, at least, it's pointless.
We tried it when we first got it, and it just felt like...
Yeah. And it's not that's not a hit on iEnyrid, particularly, because, again, like, a lot of these scooters have a seat that's an addition or comes with it. I just think they're kind of silly. I mean, you don't have near as much room to stand on the footbed because of the post, even after you take the seat off. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel, the control feels weird when you're sitting in the seat.
Yeah, and we don't go long enough, frequently enough that the seat is really needed. I don't know.
Plus, if you're out driving on a road, which you usually will be, that puts you down even that much farther below the line of sight of other traffic, or being able to see over cars, which when you're riding a scooter in traffic, like especially on an island like this with the narrow roads and kind of crazy driving, it's really good to be able to see ahead and see who's coming, what's stopping. We're not a fan of a seat on a scooter. Kind of feels like if that's what you want, get an e-bike. That's our opinion on that. That said, it's a nice seat. It's very cushy. And it did have a problem because you have to take an entire bracket and install it where the seat goes, or swap it out with the non-seat version, which is like a little lifting handle. And the little Allen screws did not want to come out of there. And 2 of them actually snapped. There was no way I could get them out. They're little stainless screws, so stainless steel screws can snap pretty easy anyway. And they just would not release. So when I went to switch it to the non-seat post setup, luckily those 2 screws aren't important when you don't have the seat on there. They're mostly just for the stability of the seat. But still, for me, it's one of those things. I would rather companies make it an option and charge me $50 less for the scooter or something like that. And then that way, you know. Anyway, the seat.
The seat.
That's it for the seat. The other cool thing that I didn't expect with this one is how light it is. It looks heavy. Like, it looks like a beast. I think it's really cool looking. Rivers loves it because of all the red, and it's like, it just looks kind of aggressive and like, looks like an off-road scooter. So it's very cool looking, but with the big sort of off-road tires and everything, it just looks heavy. It's not. It's 50 pounds, which is also much lighter than the other one we had experience with. For us on this boat, that's a big deal. You know, for all of you who don't live on a sailboat and you're driving it in and out of your house, right, you know, lifting it in and out of a trunk, not a big deal either way, usually.
It folds, and it folds in kind of a unique way. The handlebars fold, which I didn't think was going to be as helpful as it is, but it's actually really, really nice to be able to take those down. We haven't had that experience before. The problem is that it's really hard to fold it back down. I don't think I've ever successfully done it myself.
It's gotten better.
Right, but you still have
I can do it, but even for me, it's kind of hard. There's a thumb spring lever that you push for both folding it and unlocking it to bring it up. Mm-hmm. And it's got like a little locking pin, and both of those are a little tough to operate. It takes some strong fingers.
We're using the scooter as hopefully an option for me to be able to have a little autonomy and go out and do things and go to the grocery store by myself without needing Eric to help me get things in and out of the dinghy. And I was able to get the scooter out and assemble it myself, go to the grocery store, come back, but then getting the scooter back folded in and into the dinghy, I just
put it in there. Like open.
Yeah, and then made him deal with it. So that was frustrating.
The other thing for me is the way it broke down struck me as odd when we first got it. And I wasn't crazy about it because when you break it down, it's not sitting on both wheels anymore. It's sitting on the back wheel, and then the front of the footbed, the underside, is sitting on the floor. And I really wasn't crazy about that at first. But I actually kind of grew to like it. We've had this thing for a little while now, and we've been riding it a good bit. It's nice when you break it down that you don't have to worry about putting the kickstand out. It sits very solidly in its place while you're negotiating steps, or for us, up and down the stern. Because if you have that kickstand out when you're carrying it, it inevitably digs into your leg. It's not just this one, like all scooters. So it's nice that it doesn't have to be down once the thing's folded. And it's one more thing that makes it even just a little bit lower profile. So for me, there was a few things about this scooter when we first got it that rubbed me the wrong way. Because we had trouble breaking it down. Well, I guess first opening it up, it didn't feel as smooth, as posh of a ride as I wanted it to be. The handling wasn't exactly what I wanted. The way it broke down struck me as weird. And frankly, most of it has kind of grown on me to the point where I really do like how it breaks down. And another thing we didn't mention is the handlebars extend. They're adjustable, which was new for us. So that makes it even smaller, and it helps when you've got two people of vastly different sizes to ride it. It really does help your positioning as you're on the scooter, and it's very easy. It's just a little thumb flip, And the fact that it is so powerful and so confidence-inspiring in its speed and power kind of balances out, the fact that it's not a Rolls-Royce in how it rides. And I think that's just mechanics and physics and all that. So, if you want like that posh city ride, this is maybe not the right one. But if you want rugged and fast and powerful and up and down hills and any terrain, this might be the choice. I've grown to really like this one much more than I thought I would.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've already started the pros and cons, so let's continue.
Yeah, as we said, it's light, it's powerful. You mentioned the password, which is pretty cool. You don't have to have a phone to lock the screen, the internal mechanism of it, so nobody can turn it on. This one has actually a passcode that you can reset when you start it up, so without that, it won't work.
It has excellent lighting. It was kind of surprising when we were taking it through the hills at night.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to be taking it through the hills at night, but when it ran out of juice, the light still worked for a long time.
Because I didn't charge it.
And so walking it on the side of the road with these really big flashy lights was really confidence inspiring.
Yeah, and it's not just the headlight. The headlight's really bright, but it's got a really bright tail light and then these crazy lights along the footbed that like strobe different colors. I like it. Like if you're going to be out at night, man, turn me into a disco ball. I'm happy with that.
And they worked for at least 20 minutes longer than the actual
Yeah, they probably would have kept going.
We talked about how it's rugged and it's good off-road and it's got a really good price for all of those things.
For all those features and power. I didn't mention the brakes, and I do want to get into that a little bit. They're dual disc brakes, and they are awesome. Like, again, with the hills that I was coming down, some of these really steep hills with a full load of groceries and me on it, and I mean, it will stop on a dime. The cons, it's kind of hard to fold. Just that, literally that one thumb lever is really difficult, and it's getting better the more we use it. Maybe there's a way to loosen that up a little bit or lube it to make it work better. I don't know. The handling, again, is it's not a Cadillac. It does have one kind of unusual thing for me. It seems to have a center detent in the steering that just ever so mildly locks it into straight. I really hated it at first. I don't hate it as much as I did at first. Now that we've ridden it a bit more, I've kind of gotten used to that. I still think I prefer just a smooth, continuous, control. The seat was difficult to switch over from seat post to not seat post, but we also don't care about the seat. So, overall quality, again, there's just like a car or anything else, there's just different levels and you pay for them.
Right. This wasn't the Lexus of scooters.
Right.
So
this is like
it's reflected in the price though,
Yeah. Some of the parts are a little plasticky and not as designed to be flowing and pretty, but it also kind of looks cool in spite of that. And that goes right back into our only other point is the ride's kind of rough compared to some others, but it'll go anywhere. I think if you look at how it's built and how the suspension is made, I mean, nothing's going to go wrong with that. It's rugged. I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered everything. Like all scooters, e-bikes, cars, you name it, you have pros and cons that weigh against each other. This one weighed positively for me overall. I really grew to like this one, and it's kind of become our go-to right now.
Especially with it being only 50 pounds.
Yeah, being as powerful as it is and as big and heavy duty as it is and being that light, it's a really nice combination.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. So, go check it out. The link is down below, and of course, if you decide to buy one through our link, that helps us out a little bit as well, and we would very much appreciate it. Leave any comments in the comments section if you've ridden these or if there's any others in particular that you would like to see us review. We've got a pretty good lineup of e-bikes coming up soon.
Yeah.
We'd like to do some more scooters too. Be sure to go check out our regular episodes on Sundays as well. Cheers!
See you then. Bye!
And I'm about to mess around with this iEnyrid scooter. We do not know how to pronounce this. iEnyrid, iEnyrid. It's got a little I, huh? What do you think it is?
iEnyrid.
iEnyrid?
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, we don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced.
Wait, no. iEnyrid.
I bet you it's supposed to be I something. Because it's
Wait,
a little
no,
I.
iEnyrid.
Huh?
iEnyrid.
iEnyrid? One more time. What was it?
iEnyrid.
iEnyrid?
Yeah, like the I might be silent or something, maybe.
Yeah. Or it just could be iEnyrid.